Good afternoon, everybody. It's just about 1 o'clock. I guess we're a minute early. was sick last week. I should have told everyone I did not. I apologize. I would like to take this opportunity to kind of update you on what's going on in AI. As you know, it's rather almost impossible to keep up with what's going on with AI nowadays. And then I want to show you the AI social poster because we fixed it up and changed it around an awful lot, and it's, we made it so the primary uh, registration will go through Facebook instead of Twitter. Twitter can be, or X. I mean, X gave us problems, so we came up with another solution. So that's my dog barking because um, so I want to talk about what's happening with Grok and ChatGPT and really all the different thinking machines, all the AI bots. OpenAI drives a lot of them, but not all of them. So when you buy like Deal.ai, you're dealing with OpenAI, but when you buy another program, it may look different than Deal.ai, but it's driving off of the same engine, and it's all a matter of how you prompt OpenAI to the results that you're going to see. So there'd be a lot of different skins around the OpenAI platform. None of them are necessarily better in terms of the AI itself. They're all very competent. Um, we use OpenAI in all our applications because we want something that's probably going to be the standard. And would we modify it if we find another thing comes along that supplants it? We would probably open up another API and have multiple channels. And some of these applications are doing that. You can actually get an API. There's one now they call on your iPhone, they call it ChatGPT 4.0. No, 5.0. It's not really ChatGPT 5.0. It's another app that allows you to connect to um, ChatGPT, to Claude, to Grok, to multiple engines and query them all from one place. You can already do that with an app that I showed you called Poe, P-O-E, which is what I've used to train. Basically, I trained it off of my copywriter's content. And my copywriter back 15 years ago was an amazing chap that made us millions of dollars together. And, so we're training it off of that content. And then for the last 6 years, I've been working with another guy who's taking care of all my copy and all the marketing stuff that we use. So we've added everything together that we can find, and I can literally go out and say, I really like that sales letter. That's very persuasive, and I could steal the content with my AI, and it would mix all this stuff together and write me a sales letter based on the various different styles of sales letters that work. So you got to be able to prompt and tell it what you want correctly. So you got to break down what's in a sales letter, the steps, and go through one at a time and kind of fill it out that way. Then I have a very good friend, Jason Parker, who's got his whole version of all this stuff, and it's probably some of the best stuff out there. Jason gives you the software. He charges you $1,000 to teach you how to use it. I don't need to be taught. I know how to use these things from the base level up, so that's fine. Great stuff. He really does a great job. If you don't know Jason, you can find him on Facebook at Jason Parker, Parker. Excuse my voice. It is springtime. It's actually more like summer. I don't really know what time of the year it is. Gotten up into the mid 90s in South Texas. It's humid, pollen in the air. My voice goes very hoarse. That's just part of being, in South Texas. And well, it's very hard to talk, but I struggle through it because I'm a champion. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other new things. AI has been pretty much incorporated into search, creating a conversational interface for search queries. This is very true already because you can grab, uh, if you're looking for a website, it doesn't work so well, but if you're looking for information, you can grab your phone, right? And you got to have ChatGPT downloaded. You hit that little button there, it's going to come up. Of course, I didn't do it right. Hold on. There you can see the little moon. How is AI going to change search engines?
Hey, AI is going to transform search engines by making them a lot more intuitive and personalized. Instead of just matching keywords, AI will understand the context and intent behind queries, delivering more accurate and relevant results. AI can also provide direct answers, summarize information, and even predict what users might be looking for based on their past behavior. This means search will become faster, more conversational, and tailored to individual needs, making it easier to find exactly what you're looking for.
Okay, that came from ChatGPT's phone app. I hope you could hear it. If you don't, download ChatGPT and just hit the little button here in the right hand corner, lower right hand corner, the little black thing there, and you can ask it questions. It's I do very little Google, very little Google. I can do the same thing on my laptop, which is a current model of of a MacBook Pro. It's got the right chip in it that allows you to do it. I cannot do it on this because this computer's 5 years old. I can do it on my iPad, which is right over here. It's only a year old, and I can do it on my phone. Uh, so it's coming to take over. There are search that you can do using the Google app voice right now. But the thing about using AI to do your queries is AR actually has um, the ability to take into account everything you're talking about, all the stuff you do, all the research you're doing. So it knows if you're doing a lot of research on a topic, what type of topic. It keeps that in its brain. It creates a profile of you. And so if you're talking about a lot of medication, like I've been doing lately, um, I'm trying to cope with the pain I'm in from my car accident. I've talked to it about gabapentin, about Celebrex, about what the maximum doses are. And then when I ask a question about what's the maximum dosage of pain medication, kind of generic, it will say, hey, for gabapentin, it's this, for Celebrex, it's this. It will go through and look at your prior searches and use that to tailor information it gives to you so that you have more accurate information right at your fingertips, which is beautiful. So what's really going on is it's able to, if you go to Google and it doesn't retain, you do a search, it's over with. You do a query or looking for information in ChatGPT or any other search engine, it builds a profile of who you are and the things that you're interested in, so that when you go to it and say, hey, find this out, it will get you information based on what you've searched before in the past. And if it's not what you want, you just say, no, I'm looking for more information about the chemical makeup of gabapentin or whatever. You can correct it, and then we'll go, I'm sorry, and we'll go out and find the information you want. And then it will store that in its memory about who you are. And then, if a month later you go back and say, hey, you remember the information I told you to look up on gabapentin? Can you share it with me? And we'll come back and say, I shared this with you in the past. Or you can extend that search or that query or that research in any way you want. You'll notice now that a lot of these search engines have what's called a deep link. The deep link is, or deep think. Something just popped up in my email. Excuse my attention being straight. Deep think is definitely a more of a deep sort of research into a topic. It takes up more resources. It costs you more money. But if you pick that, especially in Grok, you're going to get more thought out, more intelligent kind of response. These things are done for researchers doing research where they got to bring in millions of data points and then come to some sort of comprehensive conclusion from those data points that they can present and have it as results, if you will. So let's say you're an astrophysicist and you have all this data, mass amounts of data from what the satellite in space is looking up, and you're researching a planetoid or a planet in another solar system somewhere else, 100,000 light years away, and you want to be able to determine if that planet has the potential to support human life. So there's a billion little checkpoints that's got memorized from doing other studies for you on that, that it can do. And the cool thing is light, which is what we receive, that's the data we're receiving from the past. It's 104,000 years it took for that light to get to us, so it's from the past. Light contains information in the way the light filters things, so they can bring it into, it's not as simple as a prism, but they can bring it into a system that will actually be able to go through the resource and look at it. Sorry. There we go. So from that, they can come to conclusions, and I have recently done this, that certain planets, because of the way the light spectrum gets reverted, they could say that there are certain elements, chemical elements in the atmosphere that reflect what we call respiration. The only reason why a certain chemical would be in that planet's atmosphere is if it had something that took carbon dioxide, like plants do, convert it into oxygen like we do, and then converts it from oxygen back to CO2, which is what we do. So there's reason to believe that those planets can support life. What that means, who knows? But it is a way that they're using AI in conjunction with quantum computers. I told you in the last few weeks that this was going to happen. So you take a quantum computer, it can deep think, and the AI has to have that. So you hear out of this corner, you're hearing about AI, and all the data centers being built, and over here you're about quantum computers. Why do you need to build a data center if you got quantum computer? No, they're putting them together already, and they still need the space because they seek to know everything about everything. So they claim. There's been even, those scientists that have found structures in space that they call, has to be God sort of thing. God is all about faith. It's not about physical evidence. So whatever, but it's amazing the amount of research astrophysicists and astrobiologists are able to do with the addition of AI and quantum computers and our fancy dancy space satellites that are looking hundreds of thousands of years into the past. So light is the universal speed limit. That's what we were taught as kids. It's not. Not even close. There are, in the quantum reality, there's this thing called entanglement. So you have a particle here, whatever it is, And somewhere out in the universe, could be a billion light years away, is the exact same particle, and they're entangled. And you can send a message to this, and it sends a message to that instantly, and a message from that back to here instantly, or just like minute. So that entanglement object that's going between two, it's a particle, I guess. It's a subparticle, I guess. Goes 100 times faster than the speed of light to the other, atom that it's entangled with, and gets the information back. So that's what leads to all the wave theory and all this stuff about multiple realities and infinite universes. Do you believe in that? It's kind of up to you. I believe that there's infinite universes because they can't see the end of the universe. They claim they can. They can only see back as far as our feeble technology will allow us to see. And they've already seen way beyond what the Big Bang Theory said would be the case. So we've already kind of proven the Big Bang Theory to be like all theories. Theories are designed to give you comfort until a better theory comes along that's provable, or facts aren't really facts anymore, are they? So AI is driving all this because, again, when you start looking at whether it's designing a new rocket ship or quantum physics or anything of that big of a topic, there is so much data you have to consider that it'd be impossible to do it without AI to do the thinking, without quantum to make it happen fast. So we're living in a very, very interesting time, shall I say. Next thing, we talked about AI mode and search. There's something called Gemini Live. And it's going to be a real-time AI interactions in your phone's camera. Please make me look 30 pounds slimmer. Click. That's it's going to have amazing ability to do it already. And I'm going to show you something. You can't exactly trust any images you look at. So that's the first thing I want to share with you. These are, gotta make sure I get the right thing. ChatGPT, yep. Okay. So these are all images that were created from prompts. And I get a kick out of these because I used that prompt that I got from a friend of mine, and you can see it. There's the picture of me in there, but then it made me into this this. It looks like I'm chiseled on a rock. So it took that and did this, and then I told it to add it to Mount Rushmore, and there it got that. Then I uploaded a picture of me playing the guitar, and I used the same basic prompt. Says take a picture of me playing guitar, and these are images that I created. My arms are not that stubby, but it does kind of look like me. And I literally said, take the picture of me standing on Easter Island, superimpose it over George Washington at Mount Rushmore, just for a kick. And you see it's did this. So this is the basis. Okay. You create a chiseled kind of thing and then superimpose my picture and then make it look like the granite that it's on. I believe what this one did was it says, hey, based on the content in my the questions I've been asking you, ChatGPT, draw a picture of what you think I look like. You missed the hair completely, but it's got the guitar and the AI stuff. And here's another one of that same thing. This one's maybe a little closer. I do a lot with the TikTok, and I'm very Christian, so it's got that in there. Got my guitar stuff. Here's another one, Faith and Funnels. I just think it's hilarious. So SaaS, ASP. So that basically shows you just how powerful and how it's able to personalize whatever you want to personalize. Now, you can make infinite number of versions of this, and you can see if we go back to this one here, that is very realistic. That picture of me, but you would know that that person doesn't exist for the most part. If I just post it up on Facebook, I'd say, here I am working on my latest AI investment, and I probably want to change it over and say, take this ugly face, put it here, to make it more realistic. It's hyper realistic fantasy. And the other thing you'll notice, and I haven't done one of these yet, but I'm going to do them for you guys, is you could take a song. Let's say it's Barbara Streisand singing one of her famous hits, and you can have it superimpose over some AI generated slinky little model singing Endless and Evergreen or whatever song it is. Or you could take the same type of critter and have it sing same AI videographic model and have it sing and dance to Miley Cyrus, or Shakira, or you can take it and you can superimpose that voice on anybody doing anything you want, and you can make it realistic. Think about that, making that realistic. It's getting to the point, and now it's still in its infancy, by the way. It is literally getting to the point where you can't trust your eyes. So I'm just going to share this. This is Facebook. Of course, all these people are wanting to get attention. So skimpy girls always works, right? Or flying saucers. And all this is the pretty little girl that makes sandwiches for people right here. And they're just creating versions of that. That's not her doing it. It's just, let's watch this. This for
Wow!
She's pointing the other direction. So what's real? You can literally, take this with enough time and effort and thought and create a video that shows the president getting shot. Oh my, heaven forbid. I don't mean that. Or somebody getting hurt or killed, and have it display on, Fox News Tonight, because they have very little way to determine if this is fake.
Kaepernick, the throw, or Willie.
That's fake. That's this right here is a post from Recovery Path. It's one of my auto blogs, so I'm going to take that and I'm just going to share it on my news feed. And when I go over to my news feed, there it is. So now all of my 3,500 friends and family and 2,000 fans have an opportunity to read that. Because one of my big things is I'm a big believer in helping people overcome addictions or other things. I'm a minister for a program called Celebrate Recovery here in San Antonio, and it's a lot of fun, and it's wonderful to see people, overcome their problems. So we now have the ability. Now the dog barking in the background is real. That's not an AI, but we now have this ability to get really realistic with almost everything and creating realistic videos. So somebody brings you pictures of your wife or your husband having an affair with a woman. You have no idea if it's real or not. They can claim that's what did Biden's people call? Oh, that's a cheap fake. And you don't know. Now you can tell somewhat, but give it a year or two, and it's going to be on. Hey, pup, come here. She goes, I'm going to be good, Dad. Yeah, that's going to be short-lived. I have a golden doodle. She's just a love, but she gets a little loud from time to time. Okay, that's what she's doing. So let me. I'm going to shut this off. Ah, good. So we've gone over kind of a couple important things that's happening, but there's more. People want to know, is your job at risk? I read a post today that it was on X, and I said, AI is probably going to replace your job. So the solution to that is to make yourself that solution so it doesn't go elsewhere. So there's a new AI assistant called Project Mariner coming out. That's going to be able to handle tasks like booking tickets and making reservations. So you can go to your AI. Hey, book me and my wife a trip to Tahiti starting May 4th through May 15th. Travel via United Airlines first class, staying at the Four Seasons Hotel on Hamanaka Island. And they will do it. But if you're like a business guy and you're like, okay, I got to travel. I used to do all I flew a lot in the 90s. I was traveling between California and Florida every week, back and forth, then back and forth. And I used to have to go to a travel agency, and I'd go visit her, or I'd call her, but mostly visit her. I'd have like 3 months worth of trips planned out. And in order to get the best price fares, we would do back to back. So I was staying more than 2 weeks, and I had to keep track of the tickets, go back and back. And she booked it all out and scheduled it for me, and I never had a problem. This is back in the days of paper tickets. Remember that? Actually, it was back in the days where they used to rip the ticket out of the book and you'd go in. Some things I'm really happy changed. The travel agents that are around now are mostly on the computer. They were even then. They don't do much on the phone. They work for websites that make arrangements for people. So let's say I want to book a trip to Hawaii with my wife. There are packages available online with more or less take care of everything for you. And that one travel agent that is there is in case there's a problem and you need some support. So the travel agents are basically gone. I used to, when I got to the point where I didn't need a travel agent anymore, we were good friends. I'm like, yeah, I'll just take care of it myself now. And I started using Travelocity, I think it was. And yeah, it was fine. I didn't have any problems. And I started using like Booking or Hotels.com and, getting the best rates. And so there's no reason you can't take all that data and feed it into the machine whatever that is, and be able to have your AI. So I got one AI that builds out my schedule for the next week or next month, and it knows I got to be in New York on Sunday for this, in Philadelphia on Tuesday, and in Cleveland on Wednesday, and back to San Antonio on Thursday. Everyone knows that from my calendar. I do not have to do anything but pick up my phone and look at my wallet. All my tickets are already laid out for me. I just show up, let them scan it in, fly. That's what's happening. That's where it's going. So yeah, there's going to be ticketing agents that aren't needed. There's going to be a lot of people lose their jobs, but there has always been that going on. Always. There's a new filmmaking tool called Flow out there. It's AI-powered filmmaking tool. There's going to be a lot of these coming out. 2025 is kind of the year of realistic graphics. So it used to be last year or year before when we first started coming out with our apps was 2022 was the AI content poster app, and the graphics that it created were rather clunky looking. Okay, so I want to show you now. Guess I gotta go into display. Okay, so these graphics that were on our blogs were kind of really angular and not very attractive. Now they're pretty detailed and pretty great. So all we do to generate these is we use DALL-E. I think we're at 2.0 now. This goes into the description generator. A description generator creates a prompt. The prompt creates the image. The image is automatically added into the blog. So when this blog post came out, it had all this already done for me. And this also, if you go look at the image or you look at the page, I don't know if this is going to be seeable or not, but view source go. Oh, this is familiar to me. This is PHP, and if you go to IMGs, G size, and you go down to the headers, it's going to have what we call header text for the images. So what does that mean to you? Okay, sorry, I kind of lost my place. So you have this image, and then, but this is what the internet reads. The machine reads this, and it sees an image tag and it sees a description for that image. So that description for that image is going to be this headline. So if you type this whole headline in the search, this is a new post, you'll find this image in the image that creates image search. And I always kind of thought, well, what's the difference? I mean, the point of the matter is people search and they look for images, and they will link to your images. They will do things that will create traffic that's useless to you, but it also creates backlinks to your site. So it improves your SEO. People will also click on the image to go look at the image on a page. So let's go over here to Google. Oops, I guess I got to type Google, don't I? And let's say we do what's the best AI program to use? Okay, so this is the search results. And these You're going to get all the sponsor ads up first. I can't imagine what they're paying for that. I don't do paid advertising because, yeah, you can get there. But here's the image results. But let's just go over here and say, look at images. So I like this image, right? Cool. Future Skills Academy. Oh man, that's cool. Visit. Boom. Takes me to the website. That's why the having these images indexed are important, because people will search, they'll see your images, and they'll go back to here, and they'll see something they like. They'll be like, "Wow, let's look at this right here." They'll visit the site, and boom, you just got direct traffic from your images. Now, if your image is unique, it's like it's been used by 1,000 other websites, you got to be the one at the top. So if your image is unique, you're going to be there. So you want unique images for sure, just like you want unique words. I hope you guys saw all that. So just, you want these images to be unique, just like you want these words to be unique. Do search engines know that they're bot generated content or AI generated? Short answer to it is yeah. I mean, this is the fact. AI, you could take your AI content to an AI program that says, "Oh, I'll make it not AI," and guess what? It's going to come back as AI. So I'm going to log into my Deal AI account. This is where I create all my images, where I create my videos. This replaced Velocity Impact. So here I am in my Deal AI account, and I want to go human. It's the humanizer. Okay. So let me just copy this content. And paste it here. What this is going to do is tell you human score 0. I can spend 70 credits and make this humanize. So you do that. Spend 70 credits. And you got to buy the credits extra. And it will make it appear to be human written text, according to Deal.ai. And I haven't had a chance yet to really look at it and figure out, well, why is their text seem more human than someone else's? So let's see what it did. Here's the new text that came out. I'm going to copy all that. And then I'm going to go create new chat. I'm going to pop it in here and tell it to check the human score. So it gave itself a 91% human. I haven't had the chance to really kind of dig into it and see whether, so it's basically recognizing its own content as human. So if this is important to you, for like your corporate businesses and stuff like that, you can use Massive Passive AI to generate your content, copy that content, come into Deal AI and humanize it, and then copy and paste it back into your blog. Personally, I don't think it's all that important, because search engines aren't where the traffic is. Traffic is coming from social media sites. Social media sites give you an opportunity to get engagement. What Google ultimately wants is engagement. They want people to like your site. So if you have engaging content, they'll read more than one page. They'll click on ads. So it'll be active. The site will be active. So if somebody comes here, they might click on a banner, click on an ad, click on a link to somewhere else, click on a link to another part of your website. I always use at the bottom, here's similar content. So if they click on to read another blog post, that's great. So what that visitor just did is go from blog post 1 to blog post 2 because they're interested in your content. So think about that. You can create engaging content however you do it. And if you feel it's better to humanize it, well, use the humanizer Deal AI, and it will help you a lot. If you need a link to Deal AI, hit me up. I'll get you one. And it is true, they see their own content as being very good. And this is where I get all these images. All these images are used in social media posts that I do for promoting AI Social Poster. So now that means it's time to talk about AI Social Poster for a minute or two. My voice is getting really soft, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to switch to AI Social Poster. Okay, there's still a 7-day free trial. We still have the pricing, monthly and yearly. So if you come to the bottom, you just register, no credit card, 7-day trial. Then when your trial's up, you'll either have to pay monthly, which is this price, or yearly, which is this price. A lot of people go for the business plan because it gives you a ton of stuff. Okay. But I'm going to show you how the app has changed. We're no longer offering X. X is a pain in the butt. I haven't scheduled anything for today or tomorrow yet. So basically, it does the same thing. Go to your AI post, and I can start scheduling posts. And I usually have this done. Edit. There it is. I'm promoting strictly the AI content poster. And I've got images already uploaded, so I can just take those and let's say I've grabbed that one. And then I'm going to post them. Oops. I'm going to switch to the McAuliffe one, which is already connected. And I'm going to post that. Okay. Here, 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 and here. I don't have these two connected. But see, you can have, depending on what package you buy, you can have up to 5 different social profiles. That's what I have. But most people can buy one set of profiles, 5% profiles, and you can buy extra profiles. So I'm going to tell it to go ahead and post now. So what that's going to do is it's going to go to my calendar and it's going to post at 1:30. Today is Wednesday the 28th. Okay. It's going to post at 1:43. That's right now. So it's going to post this in the next couple of hours or next little bit here. These were beta testing things we're doing. I can delete those because I don't need them anymore. So you can see how to delete. And I come here and see what's been published. Let's look at a Pinterest. I get clicks from Pinterest all the time. Thanks to AI Social Post, this guy's working away. Wow. Got this information there. Let's go visit the site. Click on that. Boom, boom. It goes to AI Social Poster. And that's how we're promoting it with the account that we have just for AISP. This is my play account where I do things. And you can actually go to draft tweets and look at stuff that you have in draft they haven't yet used, and then you can edit them and go ahead and add a link in. Now, let's say I don't want to put a picture on this one, I'll just schedule that. And that's scheduled for the right here. No pictures. I'm going to go at 2, and I can go back to AI post here, and I could say, okay, I want this one right here to go. Just click edit, add in the link. I always like to copy that link because I can use it later on. And then I'm going to go ahead and look at the media, and I'm going to grab this one right here. You can upload it, keeps them for like 14 days. And in this case, it's going to all these different sites. Once I select Pinterest, that's where you put in your link. That's going to end up being part of your post. So I'm just going to tell it to schedule that. Oops, schedule. Oh, I forgot to put the media in. I thought I selected, let's pick this cookie cooker. There we go, now we got a picture in. Whoops, schedule it. So it does a good job. It gets the content out there. It's just an amazing way to brand a business. Are you going to put affiliate links and make money in this? Yeah, you certainly can. You got to create the right kind of content. And we're looking on adding additional functionality as we move forward. But here it is. It's really a great program. It's available for sale. It's going to be available as a ClickBank product as well. It's available directly from us right now. So you'll start seeing people posting, running ads and promoting it for us to generate those nice, tasty affiliate commissions, I guess is what I want to say. So other things going on in AI this week. Again, the robotics. Elon Musk said, well, there'll be an Optimus putting together your cars. And then, one of his engineers said, no, they have high-speed industrial robots that do it much better than a human would do. So why would they switch to something less efficient? The point is, and I already talked to my wife about it, I said, look, I ain't getting younger. I have lots of pain from my car accident, which is why I do all this wiggling around. So at best, we can get one of these doodads to keep the house spotless, which pretty well is anyway. But we have a dog. She's a big old golden doodle, and she drags dirt in. So get something to clean up the floors and do the dishes and cook our dinners and guard the house and mow the lawn. Those things are going to be here soon. Elon Musk is talking about releasing the Optimus in 2026. Well, it's almost June. It'll be June in 3 days. Okay. That just blows me away. A, that is June already because we just had the new year. And B, that the AI humanoid robots. And they're going to get better looking. And at the rate that AI changes things, you can now code stuff. So if you're a computer programmer, and we ourselves, an AI company, have gone from 85 employees down to just a few. We need someone that our CTO runs that, which is Jaden. Developing code for the cloud, and you need to do cloud, but the cloud's getting taken over by AI as well. So you got to be able to kind of amalgamate all that idea. And things like PHP, which is used for blogs, these things are going to become obsolete within 5 years, I suspect. Can you make one of your blogs? Look, if you do nothing right now, you're going to get nothing right now. And if you keep waiting to do something, you'll do nothing. And as a result, you will never get anywhere and achieve anything. Blogs are very good. There'll be a version of blogs 10 years from now. Whatever that is, God willing and the creek don't rise, we'll be developing systems and softwares to make them more extensible and more functional for you. So even as AI makes it easier to do the programming, I told Jayden, I said, in the next couple of years, I'm going to have a AI CTO. He said, good, just keep paying me anyway. And that's kind of the point that I think Elon Musk is talking about. It's going to get so efficient to do things that effectively lowers the cost of production to zero. So basically, all you got to do is cover material costs. But if you have plenty of energy, which is what they're working on, the cost of energy drops too, because of the supply is feeding the AI, and the AI is feeding the system. So when everything drops to zero, they can literally create especially with AI's help, an economic system where everybody is more than sustained, that there's universal wealth. That's his goal. Universal wealth does not mean everyone's a trillionaire, but make sure that everyone can afford a house, a car. Well, I bought this car, it was a year ago. My wife just told me that. I'll never buy another car because, it might last, 10 years. By then I'll be getting into my mid 70s. Do I drive still? I don't know. By then, Waymo or Uber come pick me up. And because they're driven by renewable energies, electric, that's the way they're going to go. All of Tesla's autonomous bot-driven vehicles are electric. And they're going to have huge electric grid stations to charge their autonomous vehicles. They're going to show up, pick you up, take you to the airport, $4. So if you're driving to Uber, imagine within 5 to 10 years, you're going to need another line of work. I suspect they'll need someone to help clean and manage those cars. Oh, a lot of those things are going to be so finely engineered, so well managed, and so properly driven that the maintenance is going to be very low on them. If you've seen the Tesla taxis coming off the lot, they're small. So if you're downtown San Antonio and you want to go to dinner up here in Stone Oak, you're going to Perry's Steakhouse, excellent place. You take your phone, within 5 minutes, an autonomous cab shows up. They drive better than humans, gets you to your meal, drops you off. Cost is minimal. You go eat your fabulous meal, you will pay for that. And you hit a button, comes back, picks you up exactly the time you're done. Go back to your hotel. So travel's going to get pretty easy. And I'm going to tell one more story. I used to travel really hard during the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s. I was gone a lot. And I would hop on the airplanes and fly all over the world, if you will. Because there was a period of time I was a chief financial officer of a company out of Stuttgart, Germany. I did that for like 3 years. And it was fun. It was a great job. Loved the people. Happy with the outcome of that job. And during that period of time, whenever I had a trip, I had to get up at really early hours in the morning, and I didn't want to wake my wife up to take me to the airport. And especially when I was going to when I lived in Modesto, because then I had to drive all the way to San Francisco, catch a car. So I'd had to take my car, park it in long-term parking, fly, come back. Now, even when I was in San Diego, I moved to San Diego in 2005, and I still was flying an awful lot. The airport's a lot closer, but I didn't want to wake my family up to take me to the airport, so I would take my car down to long-term parking, pay $15 a day to park my car, fly off to my trip, come back 7 days later, pay a couple $100 to get my car out of that, and then drive home. And I was exhausted, burnt out. It really is a difficult lifestyle. Now, when I travel somewhere, I still do. San Antonio's nice. The airport's 15 minutes away, easy to get in and out. I don't drive my car. Uber, $15 to the airport, $15 to get back. If I wanted to travel now, I would never park my car at the airport. I would just Uber to it and back. Well, in 10 years, you're going to call Waymo or Uber driverless. It's just going to show up. You can schedule it to pick you up. You can schedule it to pick you up at the airport. Here's the beautiful thing. You feed it the flight information and say, he's arriving on flight 729 from Dallas or wherever, and it will track the flight coming in. And then there's just a bunch of these cars sitting at the airport who come over and pick you up at the assigned spot. So if you're an Uber driver or a taxi driver, things are going to get really tight, really tough for you. I guess those are sort of things that are going to go away because it's inevitable. The workforce is going to be more and more taken care of by our Internet of Things and our objects and our technology. And we got to learn how to live with that, learn how to make it work for us, or we'll become obsolete. I'm betting man wins in that game against AI. I sure hope so. If they want to put a chip in the head making part of the cybersphere, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we cross that bridge when we get there. So, yeah, a lot of exciting stuff and a lot of personal choices to be made in the future, but AI is here to stay. So make it part of your life. Learn how to use it in your job. Learn how to use it in your marketing. And don't be afraid. Take care. Have a great